we'll be looking forward to Clubhouse and hopefully Villa for Father's Back to be able to push it 2-3. Father's Back will be starting on the attack on Consulate, and it's going to be DarkZero starting off with a ban of Capital.
Ooh, okay. Capital getting taken off of the board is another interesting one for DarkZero. Again, this is a team that you don't necessarily have a ton of VODs on, so I don't know if that they're going to be super target banning. Probably just going to be stuff that they don't like to play themselves. Nomad, another one interesting from Father's Back. I don't believe this is an operator they play very much, so I don't hate that ban either.
Rolling into the defender bans. Mira on Consulate, that's okay. We'll see what DarkZero wants to take out. Usually you're probably going to get a Maestro or an Echo in this situation. You don't want to leave them both up, so controlling the bans will be DarkZero, and how the game is dictated and played, and it's going to be an Echo, so we still leave Maestro up on the board. It's not really the end of the world. You still have the All Day, you still have the Evil Eyes.
Yeah, it's fair enough. They don't really play Echo all that often on DarkZero. Most teams don't, because it gets banned like every single game that gets played.
Yep.
More or less, it's the most banned defender, so at least in NA. DZ not having that opportunity, or DZ, excuse me. Cafeteria Garage for the very first bomb site to be played by DarkZero, and again, pretty typical. You don't generally see teams start on the first floor. Sometimes you do see the second, but it goes back and forth between these two bomb sites.
I'm just admiring the names on Father's Back, dustlebox.com. I wonder if that's an actual... Can someone tweet me if that's a real website?
Yes.
I would very much like to know. And if it's not, and anyone has a free domain just sitting, burning a hole in their back pocket, do you want to rent that for them?
Yeah, do something good for it too. Make it a meme page or something. When does Dustlebox play? Get that going up.
Just get a when does insert player play page for every single player in Pro League in every region.
It'll become a requirement at some point. That's coming in Season 11, so do get ready for that. Get ready for this match as well. We do see a mute being brought up, and that's interesting, opening up the garage. They're going to reinforce this. That's mostly just so sound can get through, right? Players want to be able to hear if there's somebody on their side. Not huge, but having that bit of information does help you out if you're trying to do something like a mute trick or a bandit trick, but of course don't have a bandit. Notably here, our observer is highlighting the bathroom reinforcements. This probably means somebody's playing inside of there. Hyper is in there at the moment. Expect to see him in there for the first part of this round.
Interesting, they're going to most likely stuff Hyper into the bathroom there as a Jaeger. Low rate of fire weapon, still extreme damage, and especially over range, being at one of the only assault rifles that defenders can use, but typically it's going to be close range engagement, so you'd want something a little faster rate of fire, like an SMG-11 maybe, a mute or a smoke in there. But hey,
yeah,
we'll see how Father's Back try to take this. Looks like they're assaulting right now from the yellow stairs corridor, hopping on bathroom window repel, so trying to go top down on the west side right now.
Yeah, I don't blame Hyper for his operator choice at all. I mean, this guy was the highest rated player in Raleigh. Coming in here, if he wants to play Jaeger, then let him play Jaeger. He's going to be the man likely getting those initial engagements. Piano control being taken from up top. You see the buck up there, Apple doing some work on it. Ideally, he can get those like mute jammers that are going to be in the garage without even having to go down. So just kind of ignoring Hyper in the bathroom, saying, you know what, maybe we don't need you right now. Or he could drop down and try to take that engagement as well.
Yeah, they've completely circumvented Hyper in the bathroom, and just spotting one peeking up through those garage holes for a moment. It looks like it's Nyx on the mute. A frag grenade will be sent down, and looks like it did its job, but it didn't do any damage to Nyx either. The wall will be opened up now by Father's Back, as that'll force Hot and Cold to retreat from the back of White Van, so everyone for DarkZero kind of peeling back a little bit. One of the biggest worries right now for Father's Back is they don't actually have entire piano control. You still have Apple upstairs doing a lot of work in reconstruction with a skeleton key looking down, but you still have a lot of real estate above the bomb site controlled by a defender.
We're halfway through the round now and still nobody has died. It's been pretty good from Father's Back, though. They have gotten a fair amount of ground so far. We do see a defender inside of the piano, and Nyx is just going to be looking up into where Apple's playing at. They have two roamers at the moment on DarkZero. One of them, of course, Nyx, we're seeing his POV right now. And the other one was over on somewhere on the other side of the map. I don't know if Hyper's still inside. No, he's out of the bathroom, and now he's in the lobby. So they're looking up, and they can go for a bit of a late game flank should they want to, but that would leave their bomb site a little bit more exposed, and you don't necessarily want that for DarkZero.
This is worrisome here for Apple as he's got Nyx rotating up yellow stairs, and this could be the first frag we see. No! Nyx turns his attention aside, so that'll be Apple taking down Nyx, and this side execute for Father's Back taking forever to materialize. Katakari will push in and take down one. Another one for Dustlebox, so they'll go charging through the breach holes. So it takes a while, but it works out for Father's Back. Slapped away is Hyper. The ping's coming out through the wall, but the plant going down in behind the bomb, hitting the deck immediately is Kakatari. So now it's BC alone in a 1v5, and he's chewed apart. It's a flawless round for Father's Back.
Very strong start coming in from Father's Back. DarkZero, I don't love how they had a few people on that top floor, on that first floor for a long time into the round. You saw that Father's Back is just ignoring your piano hold. They're ignoring your pressure you have on that first round. Well, just focus the bomb site. You can get those mute jammers off of the wall early. You can still open that up. You can still get your guys in the site, and then you're basically running in, what was that, like 4-on-3 as they ran into the bomb site because there are 2 roamers up top. And the roamers didn't even win. So it's like, it's questionable for DarkZero. They might want to fix that if they want to go back down there. But they don't. Archives Tellers.
Yeah, that's a bit of a curveball right there. Not. I mean, if you want to swap off after one bad round, that's fine. Tellers Archives. I really want to see what the setup looks like. Apple with a 3-bomb last round. Honestly, a lot of top control there for him. I was very surprised that Father's Back was willing to allow DarkZero to still retain piano control for so long. They were able to get upstairs inside a console and start ripping up the floor, but outside of that, there was a lot of real estate controlled by DarkZero that could have been lethal for Father's Back to execute if it wasn't for some pretty well-timed entry frags.
Apple's second international land here, and that was his very first opening kill. He got 0 inside of Valencia, and he died.
You got to dog the man like that.
Well, I mean, I'm highlighting how good he's doing now, right? It's much better this time around. Didn't have the best performance back in in Valencia, but this time around, good that he's coming out stronger in this DreamHack. And wow, that's not strong. Just as I'm talking about him doing well, he'll be the opening death in this one. Hot and cold with the spawn peak on Maestro, able to get that one nice and cleanly. And that might put a bit of a halt to the momentum of Father's Back.
I know it's only been one round, but I'm a little surprised that it's DarkZero kind of taking that initiative. They also really took the initiative by trying to flank onto the top hold last round. It's kind of weird seeing Father's Back try and stay, I guess, calmer than usual. Like I said, it's been one round in 30 seconds, but even last round didn't look like they had the same kind of energy, the same kind of Spitfire engine that they were rocking in Valencia against Chaos specifically.
Just doing some bit of a droning work at the moment, and we'll see how that actually halts them, right? Because that's a lot of frag grenades off the board. That's the only 2 that you brought, and there's a lot of soft destruction as well. Apple going down. With him being such a big player in that first round, it is a very crucial pick that Hot was able to get with that spawn peak. So you like to see it from DZ. That's definitely the adaptation they want. And with this bomb site, they might be going a little bit more aggressive because it's harder to hold this one than some other ones.
Pistol Box going to be opening up some more rotates because obviously, yeah, Apple's gone, no skeleton key, still has the shotgun to do it, secondary shotgun, and Thermite Charge from Besom coming down onto the admin hatch to look into Visa. You're going to need that kind of control, but the plant site is still Teller, so opening up that hatch won't get you visibility on covering diffuser or flanks. It'll just keep anyone from rotating in through the Visa hallway. Kenki is trying to assault into Visa. Looks like he's been down. Not sure if that was through the floor. VC's taking a little bit of damage, so guessing he was on that engagement. Now Nick's still inside of Teller safely, though. That hatch being opened up really doesn't impact him all that much.
Yeah, could have been even an impact grenade thrown by Nyx because he is out of those and it was a down, so I could see that if he was on health somewhere else. One way or another, he's trying to clean up on the frag. He knows that somebody is over there. He'll get 1 kill on a B-Sun inside of the doorway. At least a minute on the clock, and he's looking for more. Again, rooting him out of the bomb site is going to be huge for them. DarkZero, if they can hold on to this site, they'll be fine. That's a great push forward, and that's diffuser down as well. Nyx being able to take out Dustobox. They do pick up the Ash. Kekatari is able to find him, and now there is a 2-on-5, so it's a little bit better, but man, that's still a very tough position to try to come back from. See Nyx behind his own castle barricade. There goes the Valk cam. They're definitely in the bomb site. They have control of it, but they don't have that ability to play. You saw the Maestro cam that they were staring at. There is an Ash inside, but she doesn't seem super comfortable to try to take it, because she's going to take a gunfight, which she will lose. Nyx with his 3rd. He won't get his 4th, though, but Hotten's there for the trade. Up top, he hits the headshot.
Yeah, it seemed like that spawn peak there from Hotten really set Father's Back on their heels, and from there, it also didn't look like Father's Back have had much experience or practice attacking that bomb site. They were seemingly very lost as to what direction they should take, where they should go, so good counter move there for DarkZero. They get flawless rounded on their first defense down in the garage, so they swap it up, they throw them a curveball, head to Teller's Archives, and they get back on proper footing.
I really enjoy seeing that bomb site because it is so, like, it's a little bit new. I guess it's been in the game for a while now, but it's the newest bomb site on the map, right? We typically don't see teams experimenting with it. When it came out, teams were kind of just like, it's bad, we won't do it. But, you know, DarkZero experimenting, we've seen a couple other teams experiment with it as well. Interesting to see it here, interesting especially to see it work. So DZ able to pull that off successfully, and now they're going to go up top. So really not liking that basement holder they tried the first time around.
Oh, going back up top now. DarkZero and a little bit of an operator swap up here for Father's Back. Kakatari is going to get off the Thatcher and take the IQ. Trying to spot out either Mozzie pests from last round or Valkyrie cameras that have been rather consistent. Although role swaps, Nyx now going to the Jaeger and Hyper to the Valkyrie, so poor Nyx, once again, a carousel of operators. 3 ops in 3 rounds for Nyx. And we'll see. I mean, he had 3 kills last round, and Naughton obviously picked up 2 as well. In the last one, it's only 2 rounds deep. You can't look at kill totals as being big difference makers right now, but at the end of the day, it's going to take a full team effort from either side to win. And having to always swap your role like that and swap your operator, never easy. So Nyx is in a bit of a pickle here for how many different setups DarkZero like to run.
BC on the Maestro, I think, is a little bit more common from what we see from DarkZero. He does typically play this operator a lot inside Pro League, so standard that he'd be the one to now pick up the reins of this guy, and probably he's going to play a little bit less aggro with it. They went for the spawn peak once. You typically don't try that thing twice at this high level of competition, especially when Father's Back come out so strongly in the first round. You got to respect them as a team, even if they don't have a whole lot of wins in Pro League, even if they haven't been hot recently. You still got to put that respect on their name because they can do so much damage to you if you just let them.
Nyx going for a bit of a flank down Visa stairs momentarily. His Dustlebox has made his presence known inside of admin. There's no Nitro, and at least below him right now. The Jackal Track coming out onto Mint won't be all that effective. It's going to identify the smoke on yellow stairs. It's a very common position. Hot and playing close with an ADS reinforcement and a mutant jam. Thermite charge will come out to know about the long angle from admin, so we'll push here from Bison and Dustlebox. Apple joining as well, not getting spawn peaked. So for Father's Back here, a good entry into admin, but they need to quicken this progression further. They've got 2 barriers in front of them, right at the vending machine, waiting to slow them down.
Yeah, the fact that there's so many DarkZero players like playing so aggressively with this deployable shield, very good. Houghton gets some rewards to get the first kill, and Houghton gets a second as well. Takes down Dustlebox and Apple, not in that order. So a C4 and a headshot come out from him, and now you've once again taken down the Buck, and again, the Jackal as well. So 2, again, important operators. I mean, Apple, that's the 2nd time in a row where he's died very early. So you're worried about that, especially with his stronger performance in that first round. Still, though, I mean, it's a 3-on-5. It's not unwinnable. That makes it tougher. Nyx gets the down onto Bison on the stairs. 2-on-5 now, and it's, again, Kenki and Kakatari who will come forward, and Kenki gets the headshot on a Hyper. Not too bad at all from him. Looking up the stairs, wants to try to find another one. They are really wanting to get going with it now. You can tell that maybe they heard us say they were going a little bit slow because they are not afraid to push forward. Nyx is in a great position, and he'll push forward. The last kill of the round goes in his favor. A headshot on Kenki.
I must say, impressive patience demonstrated there from Nyx. He sat in this corner, and I'm not joking here, the entire round. He did not move. He walked down Visa stairs once in about the first minute, came back up and said, "This is my home now." He just sat there the entire round, and honestly, that's not something that I usually attribute to Nyx. He's usually a little more, I guess, free-flowing, moves around the map a lot more.
Yeah.
Saw that in the previous round, the Teller's Archives defense, where he was kind of shifting his position a lot on Castle and picking up kills for Father's Back not having the intel, but in that round, Nyx sat in one spot and collected 2 kills for it. That's that vending machine hold as well from DarkZero. That's a lot of utility invested there, but again, Father's Back having issues progressing past that first barrier that DarkZero continuing to set up now.
I know it's only been 3 rounds, but I get a little bit of the sense that DarkZero had a lot of stuff prepped for Raleigh, and most of it, or at least a lot of it, they've been saving for the bracket stage because they predicted they would make it out to there. Unfortunately, if you remember, they did fall inside of groups. So, I mean, just with the positioning of DreamHack Montreal as an event, you have a lot of teams that didn't get as far as they were hoping to, and because of that, they have a lot of just excess strats that they've held on to. And yeah, they could hold it all the way to the Invitational, but so much stuff can happen before then. This is a great opportunity just to let it loose and say, you know what, we've got so much in the barrel, let's shoot it all off right now.
Yeah, with how much the meta shifts from operation to operation with 2 new operators coming in, and obviously the new ops are on a 3-month delay getting into Pro League and competitive in any sense, but at the same time the meta still shifts with map changes or
100%.
secondary gadget changes. Like, we're not going to see Goyo or Amaru in Pro League in a week and a half, but we will see the new deployable shields, for instance.
Right.
So the meta will shift, so if you've got those stored up strats, like you were saying, from boot camping before a long LAN like the Major, yeah, get them out of the way now because they might not even be viable in 2 weeks if the meta shifts as hard as we're expecting it to.
In terms of operators, pretty similar on the side of DarkZero. You still got Hyper on that Jaeger, and you still have Nyx, who's likely going to be roaming with him on the smoke if they pull the same strategy they did last time on this bomb site. You'd hope they did something to change it up, right? Because it didn't really work, and I felt like it wasn't just that they executed something wrong. It felt like there was a serious like hole in that strategy, and Father's Back knew exactly how to handle it. You can tell they've been doing their VOD review, and we see the outlines of a player lurking up on that top floor. Doesn't get seen immediately by Kenki, but it doesn't seem like he's thinking he had droned out the whole top floor. He just wants enough that he can get on into the yellow stairs, look around a little bit more. It is Hyper who's lurking up top here, and ideally he just wants to put on a bit of pressure. He goes down though. The opening frag, and Kenki with the entry will be able to get that one. That's huge. Again, it's these roaming players from DarkZero that just haven't had an impact on this bomb site.
Much quicker at opening up the garage as well. Looks like Hotten's going to, or BC, sorry, is going to go for a peek on the Alda. Another one will fall at the hands of Dustelbox this time with the C7E. So that's both your roamers from the previous time that DarkZero defended this. Hot and Cold is now flexed up for a third roamer. He's going to be flanking into CEO. Almost crossed up now by the hold on yellow stairs. He grabs one with the MPX, turns and tries to reload, but springing up from behind the desk will be Apple to say farewell to Hot and Cold. So it's now down to Mint and BC on site, trying to hold out just with some punch holes and some impact holes in walls, trying to hold the breach. But for right now, Father's Back have complete control, and it's looking like just a moment of time for the execute to come down. B-Sun
is in a dangerous angle, and he knows it. Anybody who peeks him is going to have a really tough time winning that gunfight. So difficult on the upside down rappel to try to win that, but hey, he knows what he wants to do. He can put on that pressure from outside and hold a lot of angles that DarkZero now cannot peek, even if they've got ACOGs on an operator like Maestro. So he's going to hold on there. BC will do his best to provide some fire and stop people from getting in and planting. But again, with 2-on-4, there's going to be angles that you can't watch 100% of the time. It's a tall task for BC and Mint to be able to hold on to this. Now, they are the anchor operators you'd like, and that was a really great shot on a Dustelbox, and they'll stop that. Seems like they have the info too, right? Creeping on the yellow stairs. BC just waiting for that head to line up. He'll shoot his shot, but nobody's there. Mint watching for people behind, and he hits another one. A great headshot by him. All of a sudden, we're evened out 2-on-2, and these attackers looking a lot less strong than they were just 5 seconds ago. Now, still on the stairs, Apple hits his headshot on a BC, winning that engagement, leaves it to Mint, excuse me, needs 2 more frags. Plant is being planted, and he loses the gunfight. Apple with a headshot. Gives it to Father's Back, so that's 2 now times that they've attacked this bomb site, and it will be 2 times that they win it.
I was getting a little nerve-wracking there for Father's Back. Such a great start to the round, and then their site execute comes, and like you said, it looked like they had DarkZero had all the intel in the world they could ask for. The flank read beautifully from the office hallway by Mint, and then BC as well, lining up shots for both the breach hole and the yellow stairs peaks. The pre-fire came out from Dustelbox. I think he thought he hit a headshot because he stopped shooting, and then BC just ripped apart what was left of him. So we're going back to Teller's Archives now. So DarkZero, I mean, if you can win Teller's Archives and you can win top floor, you kind of have a pretty good rotation. You can take the half 4-2.
Totally, yeah. This is a bit more aggressive DarkZero than I think we're used to seeing. Typically, they're really good at not necessarily playing super passively, but they're good at staying alive. They're good at just winning their gunfights when people come to them. And this time around, like DarkZero deciding that they want to take things a little bit more to the attackers, right? They're doing these spawn peaks. They're playing 3 roamers when they're defending the basements. Doesn't seem to be working out too well on that last site, but when they play a site such as Archives Tellers, that kind of stuff works a little bit better because you can't sit back and just do your best to destroy everybody when they come into your bomb site because, yeah, it's your bomb site, but really, you don't have a whole lot of control there. So DarkZero maybe a little bit more comfortable playing it aggressively. I don't mind this bomb site just because of that. BC taking a little bit of damage in this prep phase. Unfortunate, but hey, it happens.
Yeah, no Doc to juice him back up, so he's staying at 80 for the rest of the round until meets his maker. And Hot and Cold going for another spawn peek here on the Alda Visa window this time instead of the Visa double door. And it's not going to find any takers for the engagement. He's going to rotate upstairs. And I imagine it's going to be another admin take here from Father's Back, so they all amass outside of Visa and try to spring up onto the admin windows. And the admin takes have been fine. They've been getting into admin without taking any significant losses and even firing back and taking a few DarkZero members with them at times. But beyond admin, there hasn't been a lot of control attacking the top floor here for Father's Back.
Peeking in now, we see Dustelbox. He's found some footprints. There is somebody up here. It's the Mozzie that he's spotted. Still lurking on that top floor, it's Hyper who's in control of that operator. And I don't know, he hasn't really popped off that hard. Again, it's only been 4 rounds, so we'll see later on in this one. But he's been a little bit slow start for this guy who a lot of people call one of the best, if not the best player in North America, recently picked up by DarkZero at the start of the season. So he's been adjusting fairly well for the roster. Maybe this event not his proudest moment. Again, though, being able to put on that early pressure, if he can actually win these gunfights early on, that's going to be huge for them. They have struggled with that a little bit. Now inside a printer, Apple is going to lurk and start opening up these floorboards as he wasn't able to do last time.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the game, but shout out to everyone who tweeted at me that Dustelbox.com is a real website.
Nice.
It looks like just from the screenshot that someone sent me on Twitter, it looks like it's actually advertising him. It's written in Japanese, and it looks like there's someone in the background of the picture playing a video game, so maybe it's his. As I get entirely off track, Akatari will take down one onto Nyx as Kenki has visa control, so better take so far here for Father's Back as they've been able to survive inside of admin, but again, push forward and able to pick up some kills in the process. Nothing pushing back beyond admin right now from the vending machine side. They know that Hot and Cold is still upstairs over by CEO and Connector. But for right now, everyone's sitting pat, and this seems to be Father's Back's MO. Every round, they get their entry topside, they get their entry where they want to start the beginning of the take. They kind of cool off for about a minute, and then they wait until the last about 45 seconds when they really try to assault the site. So we'll see if they can convert here on Teller's Archives without clearing anyone in the basement.
Such a flexible site for the defenders. I don't love the fact that they're not getting a whole lot of ground in the first 2.5 minutes almost of this map. You got one, I like that, but you need a little bit more from that. BC in a great angle at the moment. I don't know if this is going to be one that Father's Back are prepared for, because not only is this not a team that they don't really play against ever, this is also a bomb site that nobody really plays against ever, because it's not a popular bomb site at all to try to defend. Getting in now, Mint with a shotgun will meet Kenki as he tried to jump into that window more likely than not, and that didn't go too well for him. Hot with a second one, and we see Hyper trying to shoot down the hallway. Finally finding somebody is Apple. That's their second frag of the round, makes it into a 3-on-3. But 15 seconds, these guys kind of got to go. Mint's down in the basement. They got another one in BC also inside of the basement. So if these C4s go off, this could be so deadly. He's got it prepped right now. Oh, it's the disaster waiting to happen. Do they know where it's planting? If he's getting up on the table, this might not be an issue. Hyper needs to come in big with 2 kills, and he will do it. One's a headshot, one's not. Doesn't really matter. And the other thing is DarkZero take their 5th round, and they gain the lead again.
That was a bit of a gong show there for Father's Back, trying to get a plant down inside Tellers. And the problem was, most likely, is there's an evil eye in there. And if you don't have any utility to break the evil eye, good luck planning. So you can see that Dostalbox there tried to get up on top of the table, but it just took forever. It was going to be a plant into the overtime there, and great play there from Hyper. The patience, again, demonstrated inside a circle, or sorry, circle desk. He had a Mozzie drone as well, just inside that flower plant of spiral stairs, watching for the Visa hallway. I tried to hit the pre-fire on Dostalbox when he turned the corner as well, but nonetheless, it still works out for Hyper, it works out for DZ, and now we go back upstairs on the defense, and Hotten's going to go to a clash. Okay, we're going everywhere with the ops today.
I don't mind it. I think the communication's been great for DarkZero so far today. In all these rounds where they do have the roamers die early, it seems like they're still able to contribute with cams, Meister cams, Mozzie drones, whatever it may be, as you were mentioning before. So yeah, Hot and getting on the clash is another information operator, right? It's an operator that you can just put forward, say, hello, this is me. It's not a subtle information operator like maybe Valkyrie or Mozzie are. More so like similar to a Maestro, and you're not hiding anything, right? You're like, this is me, this is the information I have, but it's very difficult to try to take care of.
They're going to sacrifice the Valkyrie for it. So talking about those cameras, but Hyper's on dock now, so probably bringing a bulletproof camera to try and counteract the loss of intel. You still have the Evil Eyes from Maestro on BC, so everything for DarkZero looking about the same. The real difference maker is going to be Hotten and where he plays with the Clash. Currently on cams right now, checking, I don't know, spawn points maybe, or he's just checking every cam. Cycling. Why not? He's got nothing else to do for right now. The admin take for the millionth time here for Father's Back. Pretty typical. It's, again, about getting beyond admin. If you can get beyond vending machine and get beyond those obstacles that DarkZero are preparing for you, which will be hot and cold inside of the secretary desk right now, you'll have a lot more success on the round. But for Father's Back, they just haven't really found the perfect formula for breaking through.
100%. I like Nyx being able to flex onto the Egger as well. If you don't have that being brought by somebody like Hyper, well, Nyx can pick it up. And when Apple's playing Buck, and he's been proficient when he stayed alive on the Buck, I think that's an important operator to be able to have at your disposal. So they're still going to have that coverage in case frag grenades start to get a little bit dirty. But in terms of progression, I mean, Father's Back, they've made it into admin office very firmly here, making things forward. Only a minute in, I think this is fine timing. Again, dealing with the clash is the tough part here.
Yeah, no resistance from vending machine and spiral stairs this time from DarkZero in terms of actual operators playing. They used to have the deployable shield set up and 2 members playing point blank range. Now with the swap, they're going to peel back a little bit and kind of let Hotten do a lot of the damage and take a lot of the damage as well on the clash. A giant utility suck, but this is, again, an alteration that is pretty standard for most teams, but we just haven't seen come out of Father's Back so far. Was an A balcony repel, but Nyx going for the jog of a lifetime, Terry Foxing his way all the way to the outside of the A balcony from the garage. So quite the journey here for him, but he acquires the frag onto Kakatari, and there goes your IQ. not really the end of the world because not a lot of electronics that you won't just see point blank anyway when they light up. But you lose a member, and now the rotation here for Father's Back looks like they're trying to spread out and take from every angle possible.
Kakatari, interesting that he's playing maybe more of these fragging roles. Last time we saw him, he was more so playing thermite smoke type roles. So giving that over to his buddy B, he's going to be picking up more fragging roles. Doesn't do so well in this one, but B-Sun with the thermite maybe doing a little bit better. Here we go, frags. Hyper finally gets the second frag here, taking down Kenki. It's another one for DarkZero. Now they find themselves at a two-man advantage. That's going to be Ash off the board, so it's even more fragging power that you're taking away from Father's Back. They still have that utility, and Apple, certainly, we know he can frag on this operator. It's going to be the question of if he can actually get in, though, because there's going to be a lot of angles being watched by the defenders. DarkZero, especially with that class, info's not going to be so much of an issue, but, oh, it seems like it is. They're not watching from behind. He's going to get one before finally getting traded. 2-on-3 here as frags start to fly on in. BC with a very tight angle, doesn't hit anything. Stays alive at the very least, though, and you've only got one player still alive for Father's Back. Make it 0. Nyx comes in, greets him with a headshot, and that'll be round 6, the half, going to DarkZero.
Like I said, you've got a pretty good rotation if you can take it 4-2, and that's exactly what DarkZero do there. And for Father's Back, I like the adaptation there. I like trying to stretch out beyond just admin, trying to get on some repels, but read quite well there by Nyx on the run out. And that's a long one, but it worked anyway. And for DarkZero here, you got to feel like you're in control. You're just a little worrisome about your garage defenses and how well Father's Back's patience was able to rip apart your setup. They were almost able to bring it back on their second attempt, but ultimately failed. And for DarkZero here on the attack, they're just trying to roll through and hopefully garner some more success than Father's Back had on their attacking side. Father's Back are also going to start in the basement, so similarities between the two teams in terms of rotation preference on the bomb site, and a little bit of an operator change. Hyper on Twitch. Yeah, give that man an F2 and see how many people drop in front of him.
Oh yes, this is probably his favorite operator. We see him on it quite often. So I'm excited for what he's going to bring out on this op, because yeah, he really does like to pop off on it. 4-4 at the moment for his stat lane. Again, we target him in terms of stats. Seems to be one of the best fraggers inside North America. Seems to be a guy who you can rely on to do really well. This time around, it's not so much been him, though, for DarkZero. They've had other players who are maybe popping off, getting them that 4-2 round that they like at the moment. But Hyper a little bit cold. Maybe it doesn't need to be hot for this one, though. Father's Back. Now, you talked about this team as a squad that have done a lot of aggressive defenses. They do a lot of running out, stuff like that. Are we going to see something like that again here in Montreal?
Attackers are heading out.
That'll be the difference maker here, because it seems like Father's Back, at least on their attacks, were pretty timid. They didn't really bring a lot of that aggression and hyperactivity that we were seeing from them in Valencia, especially against Chaos. We'll see if that changes on the defense. Maybe they just feel a lot better making those kind of plays and swinging on those kind of engagements on the defense in comparison to the attack. Hopefully they bring a little more energy, because on their attacking side they did look quite slow, quite intimidated by. And I mean, it's natural to be intimidated by a team like DarkZero.
Totally.
When you're 0-8 in your own Pro League region, then you see the #1 currently ranked team in North America in Pro League. It's stark difference in accolades so far.
Yeah, and starting off with a round win for them, I think that might have boosted their confidence a little bit. They can at least be proud of that, but it has slipped away for some time now. 4-2 scoreline as we currently see. So Father's Back having struggled with that a little bit. Coming back into this round, though, we're about a minute in, and I think the droning's been done pretty effectively by DarkZero. There's not a whole lot of roamers for them to find. We saw very early on in this round a shock drone was actually able to take down at least one of the bandit batteries, and the shock drone stayed alive and managed to get out of there. The shotgun pistol from Apple not able to hit it. So a lot of utility still for DarkZero. More likely than not, they're going to be able to utilize this quite well. Hyper not even wanting to frag at the moment. He loses one of his shock drones, but he's still able to go for him and frag with the F2, of course.
You can kind of see it here from DarkZero too. They're expecting Father's Back to try and make some kind of crazy rotation. They're expecting Father's Back to come out and really try and engage with them on the roam. It's just not happening, and that's honestly in part to a great lockdown by DarkZero. They've covered every stairwell. They've covered every rotation possibility for Father's Back. You can see the attempted rotation there up spiral by Kakatari on the bandit, but at the end of the day, just the drone work coming out from DarkZero really limiting the options for Father's Back to be able to push without being spotted. And right now, they're just kind of locked inside of the site, playing very horizontal, two in the depths of archives, and one looking to, again, push up spiral stairs. We'll see if anyone gets off the drone and allows that flank.
Floor's boards being opened up by VC. You can tell they're prepping for this push to come in. Maybe VC himself won't be down there in the nitty-gritty, but he's going to be supporting from up top, able to go down with those frag grenades. It's going to be Nyx who wants to get in and start destroying some of his utility, start destroying some heads. BC, actually, the man who I was saying will stay up top. Well, he's still up top, but he's hitting headshots or getting frags in a Beast Sun. The first one to go down inside of this round. 30 seconds on that clock. They got to get going now or never. You see Mint's not really in position to go for a take. He's more so going to be coming in from behind, and you can tell he's putting on a little bit of pressure there. Hotten's just planting, doesn't really seem to care. Hyper's starting to frag off again. That's pretty good by him. A double coming in from the back door, and he's going to be able to take down 2 Japanese players. Finds a third. They're still not looking at him. Oh no, Hotten gets off the plants, and he's going to be able to take down Apple with his last frag of the round. Big one. Very efficient from DarkZero in those dying seconds to be able to actually, you know, not throw that one away.
It was a good take there for DarkZero. Now they extend their lead to a 5-2 scoreline here on Consulate, and now we're starting to see maybe DarkZero tear away with this one, at least in map number 1. There's obviously still Clubhouse and Villa left to be played if we make it to a decider. But for right now, Father's back. They got to find some traction here. They got to find a way to either start up on the roam early, because every flanking rotation possibility that was cut off by DarkZero, they played that incredibly well in terms of map control and just smothering Father's back with drones or pre-fires or one flank hold on the other side of the map, making sure that no one could escape the basement. And looks like Father's back, even though they did have a pretty ineffective round defending the basement, they're going to go back downstairs, as opposed to DarkZero when they were unsuccessful the first time. They ripped off immediately to Teller's Archives.
Great play by Hyper, I think, in that last round. You'll be able to come in from behind. Unfortunately, the only kill we actually caught was him shooting somebody in the back of the head. I believe that was Dusselbox, but no doubt the 2 kills he got before that, at least one of them, would have been against somebody who was watching that flank, would have been against somebody who was aware of his presence. So he's winning these gunfights now, and the utility from the Twitch as well was used pretty well last round. So coming in with both the frags and the utility, what do you expect from a star player like Hyper? I really like to see him coming alive now once they swapped over to the attack.
The basement defense here for Father's back once again. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be starting on the roam. All 5 members downstairs currently. So again, trying to anchor up. It seems very counter to the kind of mentality and mindset that Father's back were bringing in Valencia. I know we reference that a lot, but it's the only reference point we have. We don't really follow the Japanese Pro League games individually the whole lot. And for their performance in Valencia, it was their first test of international competition, and I don't know, it seems like maybe the pressure of this game is starting to get to them. Maybe they'll warm up a little bit here on map 1. And then heading into Clubhouse, they might change their stance.
Ideally. It's tough, too, because for DarkZero, I'm sure they're going through those Japanese Pro League VODs, but this is a map that Father's back only played once over there, and of course they lost it, because they've lost every map they played this season. So it's tough, right? It's tough for DarkZero to know what's going to be going on. And you can tell, as you were mentioning last time, they're expecting a little bit more aggressive plays. It's not happening from Father's back. Very counter to what we saw from DarkZero, where they were roaming all over the place when they defended Cafeteria Garage.
And you can see just the dedication of Mint to hold the Visa rotate for over a minute in tandem with Hyper. And now Nyx is going to head upstairs to hold the rotation as well. Very concerned with anyone from Father's back having an opening and being able to flank an unsuspecting DarkZero member. So for everyone right now in DarkZero, the focus is lock down the roam potential and then move in for the site execute, and it's been rather smothering. Father's back really haven't had any escape. Looks like Kenki might be thinking about it, but again, he's being locked down from multiple angles, and Mint over half the round now spent in Visa holding any possible rotation for Kenki.
It's kind of the way that DarkZero play it, right? They are expecting a lot of roamers. They know this bomb site can be held with a lot of roamers, so they want to be very, very diligent. They want to play some or put some respect on Father's back, because yeah, there might be somebody up there. They might have to watch out for that. You can see Mint in a great position to maybe catch somebody off guard. If this is the moment that Father's back want to get aggressive, it's a bad moment to pick, because Mint is in a great position to cut off those roamers who might want to get aggressive, push out from behind and catch somebody off guard. Kenki for now though seems pretty contentious to chill it. Oh, maybe his timing was actually perfect. He saw the head of Mint for just a moment. They exchanged some fire, but it doesn't look like anybody's taking any damage from that. They're going to get back on their drones and take it slow once again. 50 seconds on that clock, and still all 10 players alive.
Yeah, this one's slower going here for DarkZero. They haven't got that opening pick. Okay, I'll just stop talking. Mint takes down B-Sun, so there goes the mute. First one off the board here. Still now another one here for Hyper. It's the flank once again coming down Spiral, and they all start falling like dominoes. Everyone on Father's back hitting the floor in death, and now it's a 2v5. Mint, again, shutting down that rotate for the entirety of the round. Dustelbox, last man standing in a 1v5. Rotates up. Spiral is going to hit Zulu over to yellow. He's going to have one member waiting to greet him, and that'll be Hyper on the F2. They don't lose those ones with the F2. It's a flawless round here for DarkZero, and they're going to put themselves on map point.
If DarkZero had a problem on this bomb site is that they were maybe holding the roamers out for a little bit too long, right? It was very late in the round. You'd still see 2 or 3 people roaming if they were even alive at all. Up on that top couple of floors, I think Father's Back have the opposite problem, right? Where they've got, for almost the entire round, if not all the entire round, 5 players just hunkering down in the basement. That means for 2 minutes, their players are pretty much not doing anything, right? They're chilling, they're on cams, they're getting some info, but they're not really engaging with the attackers. They're not doing a whole lot to slow down DarkZero. And so DarkZero, it took them a while, right? For 2 minutes, they weren't really doing a whole lot, it seemed like in the kill feed, but they were taking ground, right? They were getting that security that they needed so that when they went for that last second push, when they wanted to execute, they were able to do it flawlessly as the game portrayed.
It seems like with DarkZero's dedication to holding the flanks and how long it's taking them to execute onto the site, you would think a dedicated roam with some reinforcements and utility, either on the top floor or inside a bathroom like DarkZero was implementing, might be enough to stall out DarkZero and really throw them off. But I don't know, it hasn't come out from Father's Back. They're trying to hit the 3-peat downstairs. They're 0 for 2 so far. And for now, I mean, at this point, it's map point. You're just trying to perfect this one bomb site, I guess. But I would probably be thinking to rotate off to any of the other bomb sites on the map at this point. And the only thing that I can see is a bright side here for Father's Back on this particular round is that it looks like Kakatari and Apple are going to be going out for hopefully a roam. I don't know why you'd bring a vigil if you're not going to roam. And it looks like Kakatari is going to head to the top floor.
Again, like, you see there's been changes with Father's Back, looking back from when they were in Valencia, right? Playing a little bit more passively, and the players that are playing ops are very, very different. Kakatari and Apple were pretty hard supports last time we saw them. This time around, though, they're much more comfortable playing these fragging operators. So you love to see it. The adaptation, even the roster moves aren't coming in. The role swaps are, and this is a spawn peek coming up from Kakatari, just as I'm talking about how he's gotten a little bit more aggressive. DZ seem to be aware of it. They're being very cautious and approaching this window, and they might even just decide, you know what, it's not worth our time. If we lose this, then we're pretty screwed for the round, so let's just back off. We don't want to take this engagement. Kakatari thinking the same because, hey, he doesn't need to lose his life in that engagement either.
Drone's still coming out, but like I said, DarkZero very convinced and very hard set on clearing the roam or holding any possible flanking rotation. So this might just be what Father's Back need. Try and slow down DarkZero on the take. They're trying to amass from windows and catch anyone out on the rotation. Kakatari has fled now to the yellow stairs, trying to escape some of the pressure that BC is applying from the console windows as well as yellow windows from outside. So a lot of pressure now being put upon Kakatari to stay alive here, but he's doing his job. He's evading the drones. He's not getting caught out on a bad rotation or taking any poor gunfights. He will get Twitch droned, which means his ERC is unavailable for a while. And now Kenki has joined him inside of Piano, so a 3-man roam setup here for Father's Back, working well to kill some time as we approach the midway point. DarkZero still need to get this execute and the roam clear down.
Way slower from DarkZero. It seems like the adaptation has been great from Father's Back, right? Last 2 rounds, as I mentioned, you know, they weren't really slowing down DarkZero at all. This time it's been a lot slower for DarkZero to take these top floor controls. We're halfway through and they don't even really have any control of that first floor. Piano is a dream at this point. You can see they're staring at it longingly. That's Nyx, but he's not going to be able to get on in, especially with that. His teammate going down. Hyper trades it, though. Kenki falls, BC being the first one in that initial engagement. So those are the entry frags being finished off, 1 from each team. Now it's how much more ground can you get, and how aggressive do Father's Back stay, right? Are they going to continue trying to roam, or do they fall back? It looks like they want these engagements. That's a mistake. Nyx is going to win those. Kakatari falls, and that leaves just 3 defenders who are likely sitting back down on the bomb site. Now, these operators that are being played, right? Mute, Legion, Mozzie, these aren't really hard anchor operators. This isn't a Smoke. This isn't a Maestro. These aren't guys that you typically see as the last ones alive. So it's a little bit questionable if the plant comes in, if DarkZero try to focus this bomb site really, really hard. Could be hard for Father's Back to stall. You see the dude had these Drew mines, and whoa, this is aggressive, and he's going to pay off for it too. Apple getting a kill on a hot, and right as he opens up that garage, and another one for Hyper, though, puts him up onto a double kill this round. 30 seconds to go, 3-on-2, and things will slow down just a little. Eking in. They don't need to go aggressive right here. Mint is, oh, and Nyx gets the first kill, but he's down by a goo mine. Doesn't really matter. Mint is going to be able to get that last kill, and DarkZero take them